myself to the stage. See, I'm not used to driving this boat here.
Add Chris to the stage.
But I'm bringing Chris on in early tonight.
There you go.
We ain't doing no great into. Hold on, I got to add the comments now. There we go. There we go. See, I'm not used to driving this boat. Chris, you in here?
I'm in. You see me?
So we live, baby.
Yeah. Let's see.
We live, baby. We in here.
I like it.
See, we didn't let the universe stop us. We got my man Cody up in here. What's up, Cody? So this is the Hill City After Dark edition, y'all. We got Amy Anderson in here. So we got some of the homies up in here tonight. I know it's a late Sunday evening. What's up, Amy? Chris, Cody? Shout out Badlands Paranormal. We live, baby. That's right. We live. And I'm driving this ship tonight with my man Chris Mendez here. Y'all, those of y'all who don't know Chris, he has got Supernatural Untold Stories. So if y'all don't know who Supernatural Untold Stories is, please go give him a follow. He's part of the family, y'all.
Yeah, I like it. I like it.
That's awesome. Early. He just got to work. Cody has got to be one of the hardest working brothers I know. One of them. He is. He reminds me of a younger version of me, always at work. I think I spent the first 10 years of my daughter's life at work all the time. So, yeah. But tonight's show, those of y'all who are just tuning in, is literally going to be different than our Tuesday night show. Whenever you see this pop-up show happen like this, we are literally talking ghosts. We talking anything news in the paranormal world, and we just talking. When me and this guy talk, or this guy and I, bad grammar, sorry. The floor is open to anything and everything. It's just an open floor.
This is a limited edition show, usually.
And y'all
rarely happen, but once they do, they're pretty awesome.
And because I've been traveling all day and been dealing with stuff all day and setting up the Hill City Paranormal After Dark headquarters here in Lynchburg, Virginia, I did not eat dinner. So I will be enjoying my pizza on the show as well.
That's awesome. I want to play some real quick. I'm going to put it up. I don't know how to do this. Let's see if we can. I think you might have to approve it. But it's something I showed you the other day. I think. Oh, no. There it is. Started.
Yeah, we definitely going to be talking about a lot of paranormal stuff. Chris has a lot of projects he's working on. A lot of investigations this guy and I have been on over the last year. We just got back from Kentucky doing a whole case down there.
Cases more than one.
More than one.
That was a great trip and a great location. People there are very hospitable. I guess that's the right word to use, right?
I would say investigating in Kentucky is way different than investigating anywhere from up here. We got the head of Hill City Paranormal in the house, Miss Courtney.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to play this thing real quick.
We got Dinner with a Ghost. We got Deb and the Hair. Mr. John Cushman and Debbie Cushman in the house. And again, this right here, this show is a lot different, y'all. We don't really have a particular topic. This is anything and everything paranormal. And a lot of John Cushman and I had some deep conversations. We're going to discuss some of those topics actually tonight because John, Chris, and I talk about those same conversations. So we're going to put all the dirt on the table here tonight. We got my man, John Sullivan from Fredericksburg Paranormal. John, I thought about you, actually. We rode through Fredericksburg today, actually. I can't wait for y'all two to meet. Chris, you got to meet my man, John Sullivan. Sullivan, one of the homies, man.
We got to investigate.
I apologize to y'all now. I'm eating my pizza on this show. I did not get to eat dinner tonight. So what you showing us, Chris? You got it tuned up yet?
Yeah, it's up. You just got to approve the screen.
I got to approve it?
Yeah. I
Where's
think-
it at?
Don't no idea. It just says the host has to approve. Did it pop up as a screen or like another guest or anything?
Mm-mm. I don't have anything.
Not at the bottom.
Got my man Ron Wood from Boo's Paranormal, best equipment maker in the land. To those of y'all who are looking for paranormal equipment, that is the man to get it from. Nowhere else. I said what I said. Just add the stage. I don't see anything to add to stage. Courtney,
It should be on the bottom, I think. Maybe somewhere.
it's nowhere. It's nothing for me to add.
Dun, dun, dun. We're gonna need Courtney. Courtney's gonna have to come back out again.
It's not giving me anything to add. I have the option to present or invite, but it's not giving me nothing to present or invite.
Let's see. Maybe we can do let me stop sharing again. Let me see if I can do a
What's up, Debbie?
video file. Let's see if that works.
You have to like send it to me. I'm not sure.
I think we can do it from here. Boom. See if it shows it on there now.
It's showing up now. There it is.
All right, so just
I gotta ask. I've heard a lot of rumors about you, and the possibility that you may have escaped or you were murdered in this prison. Can you tell us the truth and point us to the right direction? Fuck you,
Christ,
motherfucker.
Jesus.
Just grab my back.
That was one hell of an introduction to what, Chris? Why don't you tell us what that's about?
that was
And
for
actually,
the
I'm gonna get you to send me that again because I want to play that when more people join in.
yeah. That was
But-
for the Creepy Real second annual Creepy Real Festival, which is obviously June 19th, and your man there, Sean, is gonna be pretty much there. He's gonna be running the thing, right? Are you guys running it?
We're gonna be hosting some events there.
Hosting. And yeah, it should be fun. They invited me to come out, and it's a great opportunity to be there with them and
Hey, Mom.
obviously everybody else involved. It should be fun. I just want to make a quick little intro for it and actually show everybody, kind of like I don't know, some sort of way of showing what I can do and actually putting that together to invite people to come out. It should be fun. I'm getting used to this microphone. Can you tell? Like, not used to it yet.
Mom, this is my buddy Chris that I've been telling you about. Chris Mendez, my Puerto Rican homie.
Yeah.
Grand time. Howdy.
Like it. Hi, Mom. How are you? Thanks. Yeah, we want to thank everybody for showing up too. I mean, know because it's kind of late on a Sunday night, but last time we did this, we had a pretty good turnout, didn't we?
So Courtney said, "Can you send that to her on Facebook? She wants to post it in the event."
Yeah, I got you. Let me see what I can do now.
So I want to talk about the beginning of that video. And again, when a few more people tune in, because I think people either might be not, nobody knows about this show because it's just our pop-up show. But the beginning of that video where you say, "Oh shit," you turn around.
Well, if you see it, I actually got pulled. Like I got pulled from the
What
bar.
happened? I was with you in the beginning of that video.
Yeah,
It
you're
was
right
me,
next to me.
King
Right at the
Song, and
beginning. You're right
Danielle.
next. You're literally right next to me, right in the beginning.
What happened? What happened, Chris?
Courtney, it's too big to send on Facebook. I'm gonna send you the link for it. So we were investigating the prison. Their what's the name of that again? It's the
Cambria County Old Stone Jail.
Old Stone Jail. And it was kind of like a pretty cool night. Me and Sean ended up figuring out that there might be a secret passage there that they've talked about for years, and they haven't really found where this tunnel system actually goes through. We have an idea where we think we might know where it is based on the activity we had. So we were just getting done investigating that area where they actually started showing us this secondary area behind all of, I guess their HVAC system for like back in the day, I'm assuming. So we get back there, we're investigating. We started hearing things happening all around us. We start hearing footsteps. Sounds like footsteps right above us, but mind you, this is a very old prison. The floors are very sturdy. And there's just no way in hell that you can be hearing any footsteps from above you. As we're listening to all of this, we're doing an EVP session. We're listening back to the EVPs, live EVPs, playing them back, going back, asking questions again. And as we were asking questions, literally something came. It just felt like a hand come right from behind me and like pulling my back to the point where it was like there's nobody behind. At first, I thought it was Sean messing with me, but I out of the corner of my eye, I called him like it wasn't Sean. And it was just interesting. It was just a very like strong pull. Like it's the easiest way to say it. Something unexplainable, something that wasn't there, and I was kind of pretty glad I was able to capture it. 360 camera came in handy for that. But it was awesome. It was a great location, very active, and we weren't there long either. We got a lot of good activity in a very short time.
You scared the shit out of everybody when you turn.
If you play that video slow motion, you can actually see like part of my jacket like being pulled down. That's a heavy jacket. That's like one of those Carhartt jackets. In order for it to come down, you have to have some pressure on it. I think I had a backpack on at that time too, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a
we were
backpack
basically
on, too.
carrying all our gear with us because
Yeah.
we were investigating that night. Again, another weekend where we're investigating multi-locations. We investigated Doll's house that night. And then we turned around and investigated the jail. And we were carrying all our equipment bundled up because it was cold as hell.
Yeah.
I'd say it was like 20 degrees in the jail that night, if not colder than that.
It was definitely cold. It was a cold night. As a matter of fact, it started snowing on our way back.
Oh yeah, it was like we got tattoos at like 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dinner with a Ghost said he's bringing Dinner with a Ghost event there. That's John Cushman. So those of y'all who haven't done Dinner with a Ghost, this dude is setting up a freaking dinner table on death row, and he tells ghost stories while serving a full dinner with dessert in the middle of death row, which should be very interesting because death row is where Courtney was investigating on TikTok Live, and you could literally hear jail doors slamming and opening while she was standing there talking. Chris tried to fly his drone in death row, and it literally took off and just crashed.
Yeah, it would not go past the doors or the main entryway, which is kind of weird because it's an FPP drone. It's DJI Avata for those of you guys that know drone. I use that drone for all my interior shots. I use that drone for literally even for different documentaries. I mean, I've gotten to the point where I've actually flew it in through a 3rd story window and flew it pretty much around the entire house, brought it back out through the main front door. So I'm pretty good at it when it comes to getting shots with the drone. And just a little simple fact that it wouldn't even make it through the door. It's a complete metal door. I don't know if it was interfering with the signal, whatever the case may be, but anytime it would come near the door, the drone would flip upside down and fall right to the ground. Which was interesting. I've never had it happen before in any other location that I've been at that I've gotten pretty good interior drone shots. Courtney says the shadow figures on death row are wild.
A lot of them. I mean, I'm getting hair. The little hair I do have on my arm standing up. Death row is at that place is wild, but Courtney's a soldier for investigating it by herself. That she was not with us the entire time we investigated that place.
She disappeared. She was doing her own thing.
She did it by herself. And, people tell you the stuff, the activity they're getting and the evidence they're getting. And Courtney's like, yo, I'm hearing jail doors slam. And I'm like, everybody says that. Everybody, ask anybody who investigates a jail or prison. What do they tell you they get? I'm hearing jail doors slam. I literally walked up there to talk to Courtney on the way out, and I could hear the jail door slam. So, if you're not going to Creep It Real, you're missing out. And it's a free event to the public. So you can go check the place out. Mendez is going to be there. I'm going to be there. I think John Sullivan and his crew, if you haven't met Fredericksburg, great people, there you are. And, it's a great event. And John Cushman's having his event there August 28th and 29th. Dinner with a Ghost. That'll be a fun event to go to as well. So definitely, it's a hell of a location. Even if you don't, I would say it's very active. That's all I can say about it. I'm not going to talk about a location if it's not active. I will brush right on past it. Y'all know me by now. We keep it real. And especially on this channel. I can't speak for all the channels that have these broadcasts, but I will say that we keep it very real. But at this Creep It Real festival, there's events going on at the Doss House as well. Another very active location that Chris, I drug Chris to this location. I said, Chris, man, a great place to investigate. What's up, Lois, darling? Good to see you. Miss you. But another location that Chris and I investigated was Doss House. And Chris has decided he was going to go into the crawl space of the Doss House. What'd you experience in there?
Man, that was awesome. From my understanding, I was the first person to ever go up there and investigate it, right?
I think so. I know I didn't go anytime I went. First of all, my ass ain't crawling up in there.
Listen, the amount of EVPs we got up there and the amount of different light anomalies that kept coming through when there's only one window in there. And on top of that, one of the other things that I kept capturing was what appeared to be a shadow figure coming out from the back of the crawl space and back. It's like an attic crawl space area. And it just looked, it was popping out, peeking, and then going back into the corner. Was insane. I mean, even when I was live, even on the live, there were so many different things that were captured that were unexplainable. The EVPs captured were Class A's at a certain point there. You were there for the one. It was.
I was watching you though.
Yeah, it was literally interacting with us in a very intelligent manner. Like it was just interacting and literally talking to us, which was cool because you don't get that often. And then once you do, I mean, obviously it's definitely neat.
Well, you remember one time it was a full conversation.
Yeah. The one EVP you got was like a full sentence. It was crazy.
But cool, the craziest thing I saw you get in there, though, that I can't explain. And the funny thing was I came across it because every now and then I creep on your page. You had a red light just go across the room.
It was a light anomaly. And I actually saw that.
Explain that, because I think you saw that with your own eye, and then you caught it on the camera.
Yeah, so I saw that like while I was in person there. I looked at the camera like briefly after like I was watching it, and I noticed that the camera capture. So I wanted to go back to that area and see if I did capture it. But it literally came out from the corner where I kept seeing the shadow figure like peeking at us, and it just comes out and it like shoots and darts like towards my direction. The best way to explain it is the light anomaly. It was a ball of light just flying in the air. But it was cool. I can't explain it. It could have been any sort of different charge that were in the room because that's an attic. The attic has literally no electricity running through it, at least that I know of. But I don't know. There's just no explanation for it.
But orbs aren't real.
What's that?
We know orbs don't exist. They're not real.
Not at all.
No. Orbs aren't. It's dust, brother.
Yeah, I mean it was cool. I don't know if I would call it an orb though. It was more like it was more like a light anomaly. Like it was literally a ball of light just flying in the air. I guess some orbs you can consider them that, but this was more of just like, I don't know.
To me, it was straight energy.
Yeah, it was like straight energy. Yes, I got touched in the attic. I seem to get touched anywhere I go, which is nuts. Some of them are usually light, but that one at the jail, man, that was like a straight grab. Like it just wanted to pull me in that direction. And I think we were talking about the prisoner that went missing at the time, and then we heard that the wooden sound, like the wooden walk. We didn't realize and we didn't know that supposedly he had a wooden leg. Which is what we thought we heard. You remember that?
Yeah, that shuffling.
Yes. Yep.
That was, yeah. I remember that. That was, man, that was such a wild weekend, dude. All I'm gonna say is, y'all, keep it real. There's so many events going on. There's like a lot. Now, mind you, I will disclose this to y'all. I'm getting paid this much money to host anything at Creep It. This much, zero. And I'm not getting anything to advertise it. So I have no reason to promote this event. I have no reason to lie to you about any of this. And to be honest with you, I haven't spoken to Cambria County Jail since I left there. And I'll tell you, I'm telling you this because of my experience that I have with the group of people I was with. The jail's off the hook. And Lois asked, was that the night you went to the attic? Yes. It wasn't the attic. It's like a crawl space before you get to the top of the stairs at the Doll's house. The Doll's house is super active. And John Cushman and I, this conversation is going to lead to something that John Cushman, and part of the reason why Chris wanted to have this podcast, but Cambria County Jail, Doll's house, very active locations, y'all. But it costs nothing to get into this festival. It's a chance for you to meet some really cool people that are going to be there, some really good guests that are there. There's going to be some lectures, or not lectures, but what do you call it? Guest speakers there. And good chance for you to go. There's some of y'all that I don't ever see in person. And I would love to see the people who sit in this chat as well. Lois Clark also said, if so, she was watching and missed it. It's very faint, but Chris also has it on his Supernatural Untold Stories social media. So if you go look at his TikTok or his Facebook, I believe I saw it on his Facebook page. Lois also said, then he left and the radio was talking a lot. That damn spirit box in the Doll's house.
Dude, your spirit box was going nuts in there. It was, like I said, it was intelligent. So whatever was there was communicating with us, whether it was a spirit box, whether it was the doll that you guys had and EVPs. That
damn doll in the Doll's house. There's definitely something going on with the doll in the Doll's house. Yeah. For sure. But those are two great locations. The Doss House location is starting to pick up a lot, but John Cushman and I were talking about locations that are kind of off the beaten path. Everybody runs to certain places, and everybody has to go to the most popular locations, but it's these locations that I get the most activities. When I go to these said popular locations, I don't get a whole lot of stuff. But when I go to all these off the beaten path locations, that's where I get the most activity. I'll stay going to these off the beaten path locations. Lois said she followed you after that night, and she will go look at your page.
Yes, thank you, Lois, for the follow. That was awesome. It was
Yeah.
it was a fun night. It's definitely a fun night. I mean, here's the thing, and this is what I really do believe: when you investigate and you have the right energy with the right people, I feel like somehow that interacts with the activity and the energy of the location you're investigating. And for whatever reason, it seems to always work. I mean, especially when we're together, we have all sorts of crazy interactive experience within a matter of 20, 30 minutes of investigating the place, which is rare. You don't get that often. You don't. I mean, there's been locations that I've been to where I've got absolutely nothing, and it's
And
just
it's usually the
interesting.
most popular ones.
What's that?
It's usually the most popular ones.
Yeah,
Yeah. Lois said that doll was wicked. The doll's crazy in there. I didn't investigate the doll. I've been to the doll's house, what, 5 times? It just so happened to be the time with Chris is when I actually started studying the doll more. Who is that? Sarah Blake with Hushed Up Historian. How you doing, darling? Nice that you joined us. I appreciate you stopping in. Welcome. But yeah, that night was the first night with you that I actually really studied the doll, and it was doing some weird stuff. Made me break my tri-field out. My tri-field doesn't lie to me, and it was just doing some weird stuff. Had my tri-field pulsating right there,
it's
and
we didn't mention at the Doll's house the whole anomaly like that was trying to manifest in front of us with the
oh
smoke.
yeah. Talk
We
about it, man.
So prior to us going there, Sean was telling me, and he was kind of explaining the whole experience he had the last time he went to the Doll's house. He was telling me basically that he was interacting with something there, and at a certain point, he ended up seeing some sort of fog that was starting to like manifest itself and show itself while they were investigating. So we started investigating that night, and as we're investigating, we were actually looking at the doll. And we were messing with the doll because at a certain point we thought that the hand of the doll was moving. We thought that it started at a certain point and it was like ending at a different point where the hand would be at. And if I'm correct, I think it was going up instead of down, like out, right? Um so as we're looking at this, we're paying attention to this doll. We sat in the corner of our eye, we start seeing in the kitchen and living room area. I had a camera with the light right where the light was at. We started seeing some sort of fog that was actually starting to show up. And as we started to walk towards it, we can see it a little bit clearer. Like you can start seeing a little bit of fog, and it looked like there was something trying to show itself. But it just it never made full, I guess, connection in a way. But yeah, it was cool. I mean, we got to see that fog literally came out of nowhere. There was nothing there that could have made fog. And it wasn't like it was a lot. It was more like it was just starting to show up. I guess the best way to explain it is if you were like when you start seeing a little bit of rain before it starts raining, like a little bit of mist. That's kind of what it looked like. It looked like mist going through the light, which is cool.
Courtney said, didn't you have a crazy experience the whole week prior to even leaving New Jersey to head to the doll's house?
Yeah, it was. I had a lot of crazy stuff happen. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like certain investigations that I go to and a lot of the places that I investigate, for whatever reason, usually they start making their way before I get to the location. Meaning I start having activities at the house, maybe even on the way there, with things that have to do with the location. And this was one of those cases, which was kind of neat.
Remember, you started seeing the woman in the picture.
Yeah, so right before I went there, I had this whole description of a woman. It only happened when I was talking to you at times. It would pop up out of the corner of my eye. I would start seeing what looked like a woman, long black hair. Like I gave Sean this whole description of this woman. And once I met the owner of the doll's house, I started telling her like this is what I kept seeing. I still never got to see the other picture. She said she had another picture. She explained to me that this was a possible person. What was the story? Was it somebody that used to live in that house prior? Was that what she said?
I think it was like one of the original owners or something.
Right.
Of the dolls. Courtney
She
might
said
know
it-
that story better than me.
Yeah, she said it matched to pretty much the entire description that I gave her. Well, this isn't a picture that's out there. This is a picture, I believe, from what I learned was that she had, correct?
Yeah, it's not even hanging up.
Right. So I still haven't seen this picture, but according to the description I gave her, it kind of matches this person, which was the original owner of the doll's house. But it was cool. I mean, like I said, it's something that always happens prior to going to these locations. I don't know what the reasoning behind it is, but it just happens.
Right. I mean, listen, y'all. Doll's house in a jail is a hell of a location. But Courtney was trying to reference that with we had a crazy experience before we even went to the dolls. That whole week, everything that could go wrong went wrong. And her whole way up there, I mean, her phone did not work from Lynchburg to Pennsylvania. And I was even looking for a U.S. Sailor store to try to repair her phone. Or I was just going to buy her a new one because it wouldn't work. The minute she got there and met Shauna for the first time, Shauna looked at her and said, "Hey, did your phone stop working on the way up here?" And we just kind of looked at her like, "How'd you know that?" And they're like, "Yeah, most people's phones stop working on the way up here," which is weird. But Cushman was talking about off the beaten path places and people not like going to them and mentioned Octagon Mansion. John Cushman used to own the Octagon Mansion, and that was a hell of a location. I wish you had went to that one. Really nice location, fun location to go investigate. And yeah, John, in case you didn't know, we missed that location. But he said, what do you think is going to happen at the jail when dinner is served? So if you're asking my opinion, again, Chris, I think, no, you haven't met Chris Mendez yet. So John, I wish John was live with us right now because he would confirm. This is the Chris that I've spoken to you about. I'll talk about you, Chris, all the time.
That's awesome. I like it.
Dinner with a Ghost is, I talk shit about him.
Yeah, every time.
Like Chris, that little bastard. No. John does Dinner with a Ghost. Again, he sets up this huge table with these big ass crystals on it, and then he tells ghost stories and talks about how it got started. But he's got paranormal equipment on the table when he's doing this, and he's got an obvious setup and followed with an investigation. So imagine this, and he's serving like a full meal, like he serves like steak or lamb or whatever, this big ass meal. And it's got like salad and dessert and all that stuff. But he's doing this right in the middle of death row, like at the jail. So imagine that energy right in the middle of death row. Now, those of y'all who plan on going to that, can you imagine? What do you think is going to happen? What I think is going to happen is
just the food alone. I mean, think about the food
alone.
Yeah.
Putting that in the middle of death row. I think it's going to stir up some stuff. I mean, I'm pretty sure what you're serving is going to be somebody's last meal, or it's going to be something they wish they had, or it's going to piss them off. Either way, it's going to draw activity, in my opinion. Because if it's their last meal, he said always. Debbie said it's always a London broil. And the food's pretty good. Last time I did dinner with a ghost with them, the best part for me was the investigation and eating. Of course, y'all saw me eating my dinner tonight. We've been on the road all day. I had a lot of work to do. So, when I got back into town, including setting up our office. So,
Sounds
what do you think's going to happen when he sets that dinner table up?
I don't know, man. That's pretty good. Like, it's going to be a pretty good trigger object, especially just having the food there on death row. Like, usually, I don't know if they did it back then, but on death row, they used to pick their last meal and eat what kind of meal they wanted to eat right before they were killed. Am I correct? Or certain places did that. I don't know if that jail was one.
I haven't researched how far that goes back in history, but I'm pretty sure that they did that back then. You get to pick your last meal.
Just imagine like that food and the smell of that food being there. Like, I feel like it'd be a really good trigger object.
I'm sure that's a new smell to that part of the jail. I can't imagine when the last time that smell was in that area.
Dude, I would pay money to be there. That'd be awesome.
Right, and then he has these crystals, dude, like these quartz crystals that are like massive. I remember I had to pick one of these things up to carry it, and it's huge. So and it's on a huge dinner table. So not only do you have the objects there, but then you got people sitting there eating and talking.
Gel made out of stone too. On top of that,
yeah, the gel's made out of stone. So imagine we already know about the energy that's within those walls of that place.
I don't know. It'd be interesting. I'd like to see what kind of activity it would get. I'm pretty sure it's going to be active just by doing it. Just by bringing the food alone, I think it's just going to automatically trigger whatever's there.
Oh, yeah. I think Dinner with a Ghost is a good event to hold there.
Never been
it's different. Where else are they doing that at? Who else is doing that? If they are doing it, they're copying him.
They're doing it. He's doing it over at the tattoo shop too, right?
Yes, he's doing it at Bellwood, Miranda shop.
Yeah. That is a cool location too. That location, I'll tell you what. The investigations I've done there, I've only been there once to investigate it, and the other times I've been there just been to go there. I'll tell you what, man, it's crazy. Just the video she has alone of the actual security camera of that full body apparition showing up. That's insane in itself, man. That's cool. I don't know. It was definitely a cool look. If you guys haven't checked it out, make sure you guys check that location out. It is freaking awesome. Active too.
That church is massive.
And you get to ring the bell.
Ring my bell. Yeah, that church is massive. Like, again, another off the beaten path location. I don't understand why these locations aren't packed all the time. I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Does she do regular investigations?
She usually does public events, so she'll have public, and I'm sure, like if you ask her, I'm sure she'll rent the place out to investigate it, or just go there and get a tattoo and see if you can investigate it while you get a tattoo.
I'll investigate it. I didn't get a chance to last time, but I walked around that place and it's massive, and you can feel the energy there.
Yeah, one of the coolest thing I've seen personally, like with my own eyes there. Chris Hammond and I were setting up because I was actually filming there, and they had this little like a bell tree. It was a little kind of, I want to say it was a wooden T. They had some bells jiggling on the bottom of it. And Chris said last time he was there, somehow for whatever reason the bells were kind of jiggling. Well, those were those really hard bells. Like you actually had to physically like move the whole little hanger they're on to make the bells go off. You can't just like walk by it or push them. Even if you like tap them, they won't make the noise unless you actually physically like jingle them. So we're sitting there, and he said last time he was there, he heard it. They were going off. Long story short, probably 5-10 minutes after he says that, the bells actually went off. And I had just set my camera up right kind of far away from him. but still facing that direction when they went off, and it caught them going off with nobody being around, which is neat. And then the second thing I had, which is you guys will see on my next video that I'm working on, we went down to the basement. We're investigating. The camera was like stuck in like literally one section by itself, not moving. She had one of those security cameras that are PTZs. They move around, they go up and down, follow motion, and all that. It was just stuck in one corner. So I set different cameras up around it. As I'm sitting back down to the table, the camera turns back towards me, faces me, and a little girl's voice comes through and says, "Hey, what are you doing there?"
Oh yeah, I remember you telling me
Thursday.
that.
There's no way to make that camera say that unless you're physically touching the camera and holding down to talk to it. It was a Eufy camera. Eufy does not have female voices. They have male voices, and that's only on the Ring, like the actual cameras for the doorbells. These cameras, you can talk through them, but the only person that had access to it was Miranda, and Miranda was right next to us. And she was not on her phone because there was a camera facing her at that time, too. It was probably one of the coolest little experiences I had, especially with a little kid's voice coming through and asking, "Hey, what are you doing there?" when we're literally getting ready to investigate, the paranormal, which is phenomenal. Good activity to just capture there.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that. And Sarah, thank you for looking that up for me. I appreciate it. But she said that the last meal tradition was around as early as 1700s. It's been practiced sort of randomly since then all over the world, depending on the place, crime, etc. I kind of thought that it started around somewhere in the 1700s, and but that's good to know. It says that you're a historian, so I like you already because
Yes,
that's
Sarah's
literally
actually pretty cool. She does a lot of stuff for Signal. She was doing
awesome.
things there.
I would love to have a conversation with you, Sarah. Anytime you want to jump on our show, shoot us an email or message, and we'd love to have you on one of our Tuesday night shows. That's literally what I'm all about is history. But we got my man Ryan C. Jones from the Freaking Awesome Paranormal Show. What's up, Ryan? Also with ASPS. That's my brother right there from Richmond. But yeah, man. But you and I have had some great investigations together. We had a very interesting start to our paranormal journey with working together. But I'm gonna walk right into this though, and said I'd happy to see. Hey, please do. I believe you and I on the show together would be very interesting because, unlike a lot of people, I get along with everybody. When I think it's funny when two historians talk, it's like a competition. But me, when I meet another historian, I like to just learn. I like to listen, learn, and just like when I meet another paranormal investigator, there's no competition. It's a learning experience. Fortunately, when I met Chris, it was almost like another person who thought a lot like I do, and I got to learn a lot from Chris, and it was pretty cool. That's the good part. Those of you who are watching and who will watch this later, if you're not a hater and you just do this for a minute, you can learn something. And I've learned that in my paranormal journey. So when I meet another historian, I just sit back and listen to them because they can teach me something. And even if their history is all for wrong, you can still pick out facts and learn stuff. So I'd be very interested in having you on our show because you told me something tonight. I didn't know it was 1700s. I knew it's been a while, but that's pretty cool. So I'd love to have you on our show. Be interested in talking to you. I'm all about collaborating too. John said history is that's right. Those anybody who knows me knows I'm a history nerd first. But Chris, like I was saying, you and I, when we first met, it was all about investigating. And that night, Jesus Christ,
We were working off each other that night.
Huh?
We were working off each other that night.
That energy was crazy. We did a lot of firing off back and forth with all that collaboration we did. We ended up seeing something walk through a cemetery in the middle of the night.
Dude, that was nuts.
We heard a kid speak like through oh man, that was some crazy stuff that night. The 3 knocks. But
what about the whole interaction that we had with that little the little boy? What was it, 13?
That was crazy. God, that was crazy. I think I still got that on this hard drive right here. Man, that was crazy.
So we came to Sean. This was the first time we ever met each other. We started talking about the theories of like different color lights and usually using different color lights to investigate and what kind of interaction it would have with the paranormal. Like, will they interact more with a red light? Would they interact less? How would they react to like a green light or a red light or a blue light? So long story short, we started testing the theories out. And go ahead, you take over the story. It was fun.
So, like, those of y'all who are in the chat might know who Howie Odell is, and we've been doing light tests at the cemetery. So Chris came down. I started talking to him about the light test. He's like, "Well, I've been doing light tests too." I said, "Cool, let's put all these tests to tonight." We had a couple other investigators with us that night. Not all of them were interested in what we were doing, so they kind of went off, did their thing. Chris and I kind of stuck it out in the museum that night, and when Chris broke out the red light, he immediately got touched walking through the doorway. I don't know if you remember that or not, but you walked through the door, you're like, "Yo, something just grabbed me." And I was like,
Well,
"Yes."
it was right after I saw that quick blink of like a woman dressed in a white dress. Remember that?
Yep.
And it shot off towards the back.
And the woman with the white dress is who a non-investigator sees there regularly. Well, she's no longer there anymore. But my man Ronnie Anderson from Bedford Paranormal's in the house. What's up, brother? But yeah, so that happened. Then we broke out the green light, and that's when we started getting a lot of responses with EVPs, like back to back, to the point where it was no longer the whispering coming through. We actually could hear that boy's voice. And then we were using the flashlight theory, which everybody hates the flashlight, but this flashlight was responding to the point where we were able to get a name and an age off of this flashlight theory. And you even did it twice. I've got this on my hard drive somewhere. I got like 6 hard drives sitting here, y'all. I'm doing a lot of work on them. But you even went through and did it twice. You got the light to cut on and off at, I believe it was 11 years old. And
yeah, I think it was
it did it twice, 2 times in a row. Verona Ghost, how you doing? Good to see you in here. It was literally like just kept going. But then we took the green light out to the middle of the cemetery. And that's when we literally saw a black shadow figure, which has been spotted there many times, walk across that light to the point where it broke the light.
It blocked the light out.
Yeah, completely blocked the light out. And I was like, whoa. And, that was a crazy night. But, when you collaborate with people and you have positive energy during an investigation and nobody's trying to compete with each other, you get good results. But when you are in competition with other investigators, I see that a lot.
It happens a lot in this field.
In this field, I see it a lot, and I've been on investigations with. This is why you can't investigate with everybody. I've been on investigations. If I got a REM pod, for example, which y'all know, if y'all investigate with me, I rarely use one. I don't think I ever. Only time I ever use them is on public investigations. But if my REM pod's going off, then somebody else who's investigating with you has to break out their REM pod or starting. If somebody's hot, just let them investigate. There's times where me and Chris and I investigate. Usually it's Chris, Courtney, and I investigating. If Chris is hot and getting evidence, I'm quiet for like 2 hours straight. I don't say nothing. The graffiti house is a prime example. When we were investigating there, Chris investigated pretty much the entire time, and I didn't say anything. I just sat back and recorded. And to me, that's just as fun as if I'm investigating the whole time. As long as somebody's getting something during the investigation, that's all that should matter. And so as long as you have good positive energy and everyone is there for the same outcome, I honestly believe that you'll get good evidence. It's funny that Ronnie's in here. I just did an investigation with his team members. He had 2 team members come to our location here in Lynchburg, where it was their show. I just sat there and watched, and we had great evidence that night. Ronnie, I'm not sure if Alan and Daryl told you about what happened in the Miller Clater house Friday night, but it was crazy. Courtney, you stop it.
That's funny.
Now, see, Courtney, you can't talk shit about me in here tonight because
hold on. I'm gonna beat you to it. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to a whole nother live. This is gonna be an awesome night. Thank you for the birds. Thank you for the pigs. Somebody give me another piggy. That piggy button. Let's go. I need another 5 pigs for tonight. I got you, Sean. I got you, bro.
Thank you. So Roddy said sitting back and letting someone do their thing doesn't mean you're not investigating. There it is. There it is. Oh yeah, Courtney, don't try that. Stop it.
Thank you for the bird.
Every time you get with your girlfriends, I get you and Emily get together. That's who it is. You and Emily.
Yeah.
She said he hasn't. Ronnie said he hasn't talked to him yet. Hey, talk to Alan. Alan will tell you. Alan and Daryl. It was crazy. Sarah Blake said, "I love hearing this working together and invest in good energy." Yeah, we're gonna talk about this some more, Sarah. That's part of the reason why we're doing this tonight. So
yeah,
working together. Chris is like 6 hours away from me, but yet I've investigated with him probably more than any other team out there, just about. And it's not for any other reason, y'all, than the positive energy out there. Chris and I get amazing evidence every time we've investigated together, just because it's the energy.
Yeah,
it's just positive energy. Courtney said, "Piggy." Oh, we got Butterfly in the house. Butterfly, look, hey, Butterfly, I miss you. I miss you, Miss Elizabeth Fry. I invited you on Red Dead like several times since I've been on, and you ain't responded to my invite. I see you on Amazon Prime, okay? I'm gonna need you to get back on your horse and come over and meet me in Blackwater. People are like, what are they talking about?
Courtney.
Tag team back again. Y'all, yeah, that's right. This duo. This is a duo right here.
Listen, we've been inseparable since we met the first time.
We've been in the trenches.
Sounds a little out there, but no, it's not like that.
Courtney, don't try to bring Emily into this. Every time Courtney and Emily get together, they jump me.
Yeah, what happened last time they were together?
They jump me.
Everybody
you were with us the last time me and Courtney and Emily. No, we were at the cemetery last time.
Listen,
the time before that, they jumped me.
You, Chris, and myself were all in one car. They were in their own car.
Yep. Cheech and Chong, meet Sean and Chris. Okay.
That jokes. I like the dumb and dumber part. Who's dumber?
Courtney speaking to Emily. No, Courtney speaking to Butterfly.
She said the romance is real.
Now I'm on the game now. I might jump cussing Harriet out. Yeah, I cuss Harriet out every time I'm on there. Verona goes. Of course, Verona will stick with, man, y'all females, man. I love y'all, but listen, Courtney is the villain here, y'all. Y'all think Courtney's all good and innocent? Y'all haven't seen Courtney whenever Courtney, Chris, and I all investigate together. Courtney literally attacks me the entire time. And Chris is a witness. Chris gets picked on the entire time.
I do.
But I'm not gonna start joking on Courtney tonight, y'all. Courtney really gets mad at me.
That's why I did it for you. Because you guys are in the same household. You're gonna be getting smacked when you go to bed. I got you.
When I get off this podcast come Tuesday, y'all see my eyes now. Pay attention. Pay attention. Pay attention. Y'all see my face. Now wait to see it Tuesday.
Yeah, show the cheek. Yeah.
Yeah. See my face? No. All right,
Oh,
Courtney.
that's hilarious.
Hit me if you want to. They see it.
What'd you say? Pam is the villain.
Mm-hmm. No, she's not.
Look,
Chris,
Ronnie.
have you seen the movie Urban Cowboy? Oh, that's right. You're from Jersey. You ain't seen that. I'm going to have to jump. Thank you. Ronnie. Ronnie knows. Ronnie's been around Courtney. He knows. Courtney is the villain, y'all. Courtney is terrible. Damn, hilarious. Ronnie.
I like the comments. The comments are becoming entertaining.
Yes. I sleep on the couch every night, Verona goes.
Sean, stop lying.
Look, she didn't came in here. Look, I'm in here minding my own business.
You manifested her.
Look, she said she had no pillows this weekend. I went to go lay down in the hotel room this weekend, had no pillows because of Courtney. Look who done popped in here. Look who's in here.
Would she go back? She must have went
called Emily. She called Emily on the phone.
She must have rewinded to the part where we said it.
But before I go any further, I do want to take a second and shout out Lost Souls Paranormal, Miss Emily Catherine Warner in her wonderful 1860s attire. That's not the right outfit, Emily. You need to change your profile picture. Emily has a whole Lizzie Borden outfit that she wears when she does her reenaction. It's real cute, Emily. Real cute. That is slander, courtesan angels. See, look at all the women. Look at all the women on here. Verona Ghost, Emily, now Butterfly. But did you see how Butterfly was real sweet to me when she first came in here? Butterfly was all nice and sweet to me. Now, it's slander, courts and angel. See how she did? She turned these women against me instantly. Verona was real nice to me when she first came in here. Now look at her, Verona. Look, all these women turned against me just like that because of Courtney. Who's the villain in here, Chris?
See what happened was. It was all those piggies and birds, man. I'm telling you.
So back to the subject, y'all. Energy. Who is this? She said I started. What am I lying about? What am I lying about?
Dang, that looks like me. Big old nose.
She said I love all my queens. Yeah, I love y'all women in here, but y'all don't have to have Courtney's back just because Courtney's lying, man. Courtney is a true villain. I'm Batman. She's the Joker.
I think you got a laser on your forehead right now.
Man, I know, right? I'm in here dodging bullets. Jesus Christ. Positive energy, y'all. When you investigate and choose your team wisely, and egos need to go out, and people, I'm gonna say this, and I might even start hashtagging it, y'all. I might even start to court as an angel. Please give me a break. I'm gonna start saying what does John Cushman always say? Come on.
That's funny.
Come on. So not everywhere.
Back to positive energy.
All right, before we go back to positive energy, not everywhere has a demon in it.
Not at all.
I had to get it out.
Not everybody sees demons at night when they sleep.
Listen, y'all. Let's talk about demons for a second. All right. I have to go here because I was scrolling Facebook the other day, and I saw an individual investigating a location.
I think I might have saw the same one.
And he was saying that there was a demon there. And then I started noticing that there you come on. That's John Cushman. Anybody who knows John Cushman, come on. He's like, oh, come on. Look, Ronnie, D word. Chris, you know what I'm talking about. All right, so I was watching this individual, and I'm just watching him, and he's like, you've been speaking about positive energy. Everything you say, Courtney. Man, Courtney's a villain. That's what I'm saying. Courtney might be the demon he investigated. All right, so
We're done. We're done. We're done. We're done.
All right, we're done. No more Courtney jokes. I don't want to get in trouble. Next thing you know, we're gonna have to go our separate corners.
I'll be knocking on my door 6 hours away.
Yeah, I'm gonna be riding. You're gonna be getting ready for work, and I'm like, hey, Chris, man, you got extra bedroom. But I'm gonna have this hat on too. So, I'm watching this guy investigate his demon there. So I go to his next investigation, another demon there. I'm like, damn, every location you go to is a demon there. So then I'm looking at some of the descriptions, and he's like, place never been investigated, there's a demon there. So my question is there a demon at every location you go to? And then I'm like, well, wait a minute. Do these one place was abandoned for so many years, demon there. And I'm like, okay. So you're trying to convince me. Now, I'm kind of familiar with the Bible. Not as familiar as I should be, y'all. For you Christians out there who want to shandele punda me, all right? Forgive me. But I am familiar with the Bible, all right? Let me get this straight. These locations that are abandoned, you mean to tell me the demons are just sitting in there waiting on you to get there to investigate them?
They are.
Does that make sense to anybody in here? Some of y'all have been investigating longer than I have. I got about 20 years in, okay?
How many times have you encountered a demon or location you investigated?
All right, so 20 active years. This is me doing it on and off, not every week, but, every other week, maybe every month or so. 20 years now, I've encountered no demons that I know of. Maybe it's because I'm not versed in. Maybe I am encountering them and I just don't know it. Could that be it?
Maybe. Or maybe you're just not knowing how to speak the demon language. I don't know.
There's a certain language?
I guess. I just listen. I don't deal with demons, so I don't know.
Or is it maybe because I'm not looking for I'm not doing this for followers? And I'm doing this because I really am trying to figure out what we're talking to. I mean, I just, maybe y'all in the comments or people who are watching, let's see, we've never encountered anything like that in any investigation. The Verona Ghost, they investigate a lot. I think it's all just clickbait when people post that crap. Okay, I'll take that. Courtney says,
here's my thing with that too.
Maybe my faith is stronger than some of. Now Courtney just hit. That's like a shotgun blast right there. Okay, good one.
That's like a good rabbit hole.
So Roddy said, we in the field will never cross paths with demon activity. Many nasty spirits, maybe, but there is a difference. Wow. Okay. Everyone like you, Sean. Verona said, and we have that word come over the spirit box or whatever, we just tell it straight out. We don't believe in Santa and just ignore it. I heard them say that too. They y'all said that at Rainwork. I heard Verona say that.
Here's my thing. I think that there's a lot of spirits out there that like to somehow manipulate you into thinking different things. I do feel that a lot of times, like, these negative spirits that you deal with aren't necessarily demons. They're more of like a lower vibration spirit, a spirit that would interact in a negative way, meaning like their vibration is off. Like they have that lower vibration where they might have been like a grumpy old man or somebody that was here that wasn't always happy. How many people in real life do you deal with that are constantly just negative, like, pretty much you can feel the lower vibration. You can feel that person walking into the room. The minute they walk in, you feel the tension. You feel everything about it, which is almost the same feeling you get when you walk into a location with a lower vibration spirit or a spirit that might just not be, I don't know, a regular happy-go-lucky spirit. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't necessarily believe in the whole demon aspect of things. I've seen some negative stuff, but it's more of a lower vibration spirit. Usually it's trying to get you to think a certain way because it just wants you to believe that. But I don't know. I do feel that there's certain people that do it for the clickbait, like Verona brought up here, and I do feel that some people just want the attention. They miss the attention in their life, and they want that attention. I don't know. What do you think?
Well, Verona says some spirits are just miserable old farts. They were like that in life, and they're going to be like that in afterlife. But anybody that posts that type of stuff is usually just looking for followers and clickbait tactic. Courtney says, I think if you're not properly grounded prior to going to locations, you subject yourself to all energies, positive and negative, lower vibration spirits, literally feed on your weakness and use that to their advantage. Ron says from Boo's Paranormal, honestly, I do not believe in demons. I do not believe some come into existence being pure evil. I think that is a soul done wrong and learn to be mean. So, all of that, I mean, so here's my next problem with said investigators. So, I hear them preaching, and I hear them, and I'm saying them because it's more than one. I'm not going to just pick on one person because I've seen this from a few of them. They're preaching, they're talking God, they're talking gospel, but yet their clickbait is always demons. Ashley said she agrees with Courtney, and I do too. And I agree with all of what I'm reading. Everybody's writing good stuff. But here's my second portion to the problem of what I'm seeing from these demon people and these people who are claiming demonology and preaching. They forget that the Bible's public. Anybody can read it. And what a demon in the Bible says, demons are here to kill, steal, and destroy. So it's if they're here to kill, steal, and destroy, and they're dangerous, what qualifies you to deal with them? What school, what certification, what training did you have? I only know of one guy who went to the Vatican who did the training to properly deal with
ordained.
This. Right.
Ordained ministers.
You have no ministry behind you. You have no training for this. So, but you're seeing going after them. What certification, and second, if they're here to kill, steal, and destroy, why haven't you had anything try to do that to you yet? And who are you to go into these locations with these demons and battle them? It's I don't know, the people I know who have encountered them, the stories I read, they're very dangerous. They've done serious damage to people in the cases I've read with said demons. But these people are going and using equipment to just talk to them. They don't need equipment to communicate with you from everything I've read. In 1970s and 60s, where these demons were very dangerous cases of said demons, they didn't have REM pods and spirit boxes. If the demon wanted to do something to you or talk to you, they just did it. But Courtney said, I agree with Chris, grumpy spirits that may not know they are dead and they are pissed strangers in their house asking a bunch of questions. You're disrupting their peace. Courtney said, hey, Ash. Ash said, hey, Courtney.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's the more, and this is another reason why I've kind of like stopped making videos, and I've really been kind of backing away from the paranormal community, because it seems like the more you try to work with people and the more you try to learn from other people, that somehow spikes jealousy into others. And it's one of those things where it's just a constant drama full field in a way. Like somebody feels like they're being left out. And it's a shame, because I do it for me. I do these investigations. I go out. I do it just so that I can learn more. Like there's questions that I want answered that I'm not getting answers to, and certain people I enjoy doing it with, like you and Courtney and the other investigators that I investigate with. But it's kind of hard. Like you have to keep a very, very small circle nowadays, and people still turn on you. I mean, You've seen it happen. I'm
Yeah.
sure a lot of people that have been in this field have somehow, some way experienced something like that.
Oh yeah,
Um,
I've seen it.
but
I don't understand it though.
when it comes to money, people's mind usually tends to go the other direction.
But what money though? Like, here's my thing. And before I get into this, Ronnie said I agree, Chris. Why? We are all in it for the same reason. This is why we keep our circle small. Here's what I don't get. What money is in the paranormal field? And what fame are you expecting to get? Even if you become the most popular paranormal investigator.
We've talked about this that way.
Yeah. But I'm saying it publicly. This now you're going to hear Chris and I's phone conversation.
This is our middle of the night conversations.
Right. Even if you become the most popular paranormal investigator, let's say your name gets bigger than anybody else's, who are you still? Nobody's going to know who you are. You could become the next Zach Bagans out there. Nobody knows you. Unless you go to a Paracon or a paranormal related event, nobody knows you. In the story. Nobody has a clue who you are. Courtney said it wouldn't be necessarily be an ordained minister to cast out a demon. That would be considered deliverance ministry or exorcism and must be a priest, and you have to receive explicit permission from their local bishop. Courtney said you can become an ordained minister online in 1 hour, print your certificate, and be done with it. Facts. That's true.
The other thing too, like what? God forbid you're doing something like that, right? You're going live and saying you're doing some sort of exorcism. What happens? What happens if that is, in fact, a demonic possession, and you end up somehow accidentally killing the person because you don't know what you're doing? Who is responsible for that?
That's a good point. That's something I wasn't even going to get there yet, but you said it. I mean, so that's how serious this is. People have actually lost their life behind real demonic possessions. You're out here portraying yourself as a demonologist, so to speak, and somebody actually is dealing with a real demonic possession, and you go out here and do that, and somebody passes away. Now, who's responsible? I don't get this paranormal field sometimes as a whole. It makes the whole field look bad when you're telling people that everything's a demon for clicks, and then again, it's not just one person; it's people. And the crazy part is that who makes the people famous in this field? This is why it's hard for me to believe that some of these famous people that are in this field, they go to the Paracons and they walk around like they're Clint Eastwood or somebody.
Yeah. Listen, I mean, now, in my opinion, and this is just strictly my opinion, there's also a difference between a jumping and a possession.
Yes.
A lot of people seem to think that a jumping is actually somebody being possessed, but no. A lot of times, I mean, I've witnessed one of them where it was my nephew. We were at at a location investigating. Jesus Christ, and we all watched this thing like just walk behind him, just disappear. And this other guy was sitting in a chair that he wasn't supposed to be sitting on. And nephew starts leaning back and forth and reaching into his pocket for a knife. At that point, I ended up picking him up, took him out of the building, and people started doing some cleansing stuff there. We had certain people that couldn't do that are properly trained to do that. And to this day, he still suffers from it, but it wasn't a possession. It was something that was pissed off. It was a spirit that was pissed off that this person was sitting in his chair and wanted that person completely removed from their chair. And one of the things that this spirit used to do when it was alive, it would stab people and pretty much kill them. Which, in that case, my nephew, it was his first investigation ever, had a knife in his pocket. That was his easiest victim. And yeah, but that's, in my opinion, a possession and a jumping is two different things. It's not the same.
You're exactly right. Um, Ronnie said that, oh crap. Well, we're going to jump to Verona. But Verona said, I watched something not long ago regarding exactly what Chris just said, and the person who claimed to be a professional to exorcise the person of the demon ended up going to prison that ultimately lost their life, even though the family wanted this person to come in and exorcise the demon out of the loved one. In the end, when everything went sideways, the person lost their life. They were actually suffering from schizophrenia, and it was all well documented, but the family disagreed. Ronnie said he agreed with Courtney. There's a difference between paranormal investigators, researchers, and content creators. And what if you FAFO and get possessed? And it's the same with cleansing and saging. Not everyone can do it correctly. All these comments are right. You know, Ronnie said, how many people in the chat has actually experienced a demon? So, I mean, it's one of those things, y'all, that it gets old when every time I click on YouTube and it's a demon house. It's a demon here. And then we go to these locations and there's no demons there. How many locations are embracing this now? Verona said they never experienced a demon. How many locations do we go to after you see these content creators go? Is it because they're using these word banks that pop up demon?
That's another thing. You're making things to make them seem like there's some sort of demons at locations. I mean, there's different apps out there that are just specifically based on just making somebody think that there's a demon in their house when there's not. Like
Yeah.
it's insane to me. It really is, especially when you're profiting off of something that you shouldn't be profiting off by scaring people and putting these things into their mind. And now you're going against everything you say you do. I don't know. It's crazy. It's somebody in their right mind should not be doing that. But then again, like going back to Courtney's comment, FAFO. It's interesting. There's been one location that I've been to where I wouldn't say it was a demonic location. It was more of a, like I said before, lower vibration spirit. That location closed down shortly after we investigated it. I don't know if some of you maybe got the opportunity to investigate. It was called Greenville Manor. It was in Ohio. That location itself was probably one of the most active and scariest location I ever investigated. And to be honest with you, it started with the people that were running the place. I think that they were somehow doing something in this location to make this location more active. Their demeanor, their personality, like it was just, to me, like it wasn't your normal demeanor. Like
Right.
a lady found out we were going live. She comes in all dressed and lipstick on, a completely different person from the person that we met, the person that showed up. It was a weird location, and I'll digress from that. But there were the activity there was insane, more than normal, but it was creepy. It was a very creepy location.
Now, Courtney says she's ran into pissed off spirits, but never once thought, oh shit, this is a demon. Sarah Blake says she couldn't agree more with how annoying it is with everyone jumping on demon. Paranormal buzzwords help no one. You're exactly right. Ronnie said no one has ever experienced a demon here. I'm going to lean towards that. Courtney said, for the love of God, don't stream a residential and call it demonic and post it. You know,
think about what that does to the person, though. Like, all jokes aside, you have an actual family that's actually believing that their house is now possessed by a demon. What does that do to your psychological, like your mentality? You're sitting here. basically
First of all,
telling you that you have a demonic house. Now you're, like Ronnie said, the whole oppression thing starts kicking in.
you streamed a residential. Leave it at that, man. Ronnie said oppression. Yeah, exactly. Verona Ghost. We've been a few locations that were pretty dark and had some pretty nasty things happen, but didn't go to the level of us calling it demonic. And we've since gone back and experienced positivity at the same location. It's all in your mindset, and plus, you don't know what somebody has done before you. That part. People, why are people going to locations that are pay to play and trying to rid stuff? That part too. I've seen these investigators on YouTube and Facebook go to go to locations that are pay to play, trying to cross spirits over and stuff like that. And some people do that, but I don't agree with it. And I'll tell you why I don't personally agree with it. Because it's a pay to play location.
This all goes back to the pareidolia. Am I saying that right? Pareidolia?
Yeah.
The whole mentality of even like listening to EVPs where you think it says something because now your mind is trained to think that you're trying to listen to whatever it is that you're listening to. So now you're going to start hearing it in an EVP. It works the same way whether or not you go to a location and you automatically assume that it's a demonic possession or demon in the house. You're going to start, your mind's going to start playing tricks on you into believing that there is some sort of demon in there, which is another reason why I'm not okay with people like going into a location and saying that it's demonic and causing the people that live at this location to believe that there's a demon in their house.
Yeah.
Like, it's, I don't know. But it all goes back to clickbaits and money and everything else.
Yeah. I mean, Verona said you should never stream a residential. First of all, they're private and personal of that family, and it's nobody's business. According to the same, I agree. Like, we've done residentials. I don't do them much anymore. And the main reason why is because it stops with my interrogation of the location. Before I go into any location, they are typically so uncomfortable with my line of questioning by the time we get to the investigation that they don't call me back. And some of y'all might disagree with that, but I work in the mental health field. That's my primary job that I have. I've worked in the mental health field a long time, and I ask them even down to what medications they're taking. And some people say, well, you shouldn't ask that, or that's none of your business, or it's not personal. Look, if I come into your house, I want to know what medication you take. I'm asking you that, and I have a book in my office this thick of every medication out there, and I know the side effects to them. And I ask that because I need to know what you're on. I want to know what substance abuse you're on. If I find out that you're on any type of drug, I'm not coming to your house. Number one, I'm not going to risk me or my team of getting any type of drug bust or sting that's about to happen. Two, if I go into your house and I see any kind of paraphernalia, we're out of there before anything happens. Anything. And two, I don't typically go just because if something comes up missing, I'm not liable for anything. You're not going to accuse me of anything. And with the way society is nowadays, you don't know what's a setup. You don't, they're going into a stranger's house that you don't know is very dangerous. So I typically, if all of my help that I can give you is usually over the phone. Second, another reason why I don't do casework is I'm not qualified to do anything other than tell you if I think your house is haunted. That's really the only help I can offer you. I can't banish anything. I'm not certified to cross or anything over. There's nothing I can really do for you. So really, Verona said we have a 5-page form that families reach out to us and need to fill out. It's very personal and confidential, and a lot of times they get that form, they never reach back out.
So
exactly.
It's interesting that she says that because when I used to do residentials, we had probably close to 5-page paper also that we actually it was a questionnaire that we would go interview the family before we would go investigate it, at least like a week before. And we would ask all these questions, and we would kind of like gauge the house and gauge the person's like mental state on
Yeah.
whether or not it was a location to investigate or if it was something that could have been caused by the person or the people that were living in the house based on their, like you said, drugs and mental stability, I guess.
Yeah.
That's pretty
But
cool.
at the end of the day, there's nothing we can do. If something is in your house that you put in there, or if it's haunted, what can we do to help you? Really, I mean, there's really nothing we can do for you. We're not trained to get rid of it. We're not trained to do any of that. And if you do try to get rid of it and it gets worse or it's there, now who's liable for that?
Right.
You got to look at liability. People can sue you for that. If you go in there and it's worse, and something, let's say it gets really bad after you leave, they're not going to say, well, they tried to help. They're going to say, y'all made it worse. And now you're in court. I watched Judge Judy. I just saw this. So, as an investigator, I don't know, I'd rather stick to the pay to play locations and continue my research that way. Or, I'll say this: the best time I had recently was going to Kentucky and doing those locations. That's somebody who invited me, and even then, we screened them, and they're legit. They weren't looking for anything other than, tell me, is this place really haunted? This is the activity we're having. We don't want you to banish anything. We don't want you to do anything other than see what you find out and let us know about it. Each location there, that's all they wanted. They said they had some weird stuff happening. Please tell us that we're not crazy. That's literally what they wanted.
Yeah. And usually, I mean, you can go in there and get activity and get some evidence to show them, like, no, this is legit. And I'll tell you what, like, I can tell you that from a first-hand experience. Prior to even doing any of this paranormal stuff, that's how I started. I was going through a rough patch in life. There were some certain different things that were going on in my life that I wasn't used to. And during this time where all the stress was building up is when I started having my first paranormal experience at my own house. And there was a certain point there where, like, it makes you think, like, holy shit, am I, like, going crazy? Am I not going crazy? What is this activity? What is going on? Like, what is causing it? And with, like, my instance, I actually had a friend that actually did paranormal investigation. He came out and ended up investigating the location, and it confirmed what I already knew was going on in the house. And it gave me that little stability of, like, no, you're not going crazy. This shit's really happening. And just that, I guess that clarification or that validation alone speaks volume, especially to some people. I mean, it did for me. So I can at least say that from my end.
Oh yeah, I agree with that 100%. Ronnie said the last time we did was in North Carolina, and it didn't get anything. Told the client we would have to spend more time there to verify anything, but from what we got that night, couldn't say it was haunted. We were basically called fake and liars, and that's another thing. Just because you help somebody or you try to tell somebody something's not haunted from your investigation that you got that night, you didn't tell them that, no, it's not haunted. You said you'd have to spend more time there. People don't want to hear that. One investigation, and if you watch any horror movie, anything about being haunted, anything that, it never starts on the first night. It's like a weekend. That's when things get crazy. What's up, Terry from NSPS TV? What's going on, brother? But yeah, you watch any horror movie, any of the paranormal activity movies, anything, it takes time. You not all the time. That's why I like even the pay to play places. You might go there one night and there's nothing at all there.
Right.
There's only one location I can think of that I've been to, and it's consistently something every single. Well, two now, because Appomattox County Jail has been pretty good every time I went. But there, other than that, that and Rainworth Lodge has been consistently active every single time I've set foot in there.
Going back to that, when these locations become active, I mean, they were already active previously, but when they become active constantly after you investigate them, do you believe that the amount of time you investigate a location, the more you try to interact with the things that are there, causes it to become more active? Or is it just the house itself coming to life more and more every day?
I just had this conversation with a location. I think when a location is dormant, it'll stay dormant unless you're consistently communicating with it. I don't think the spirits just linger around waiting on you to talk to it. If the location is busy and constantly getting investigated on a regular basis, the spirits are more likely to hang around and investigate and talk. I mean, more likely to hang around and be more active. I think that your most haunted locations, if they're constantly investigated, and I'm not talking like every single day, because I do think you can also over investigate a location to the point where it'll kill the activity in a location. I watched the location get over investigated to the point where there was hardly any activity. So I think that if you do a constant investigation at locations or a regular investigation at locations, they can stay active or become more active. But if they're dormant, they may be hit or miss. I think the more a location becomes familiar with the investigator, the more active it can become with that investigator as well.
But here's the thing: once you make the location active, and you continue to have these interactions with whatever's going on at this location, do you believe that once you stop having these interactions, you think it's just going to go back to being dormant, or do you think it's going to continue to seek that communication and continue
also
to
that depends on the location, because I don't think all the spirits or every spirit you deal with is the same, has the same energy. I think there's different levels to the spirits and to the capabilities of the spirits that we investigate. So I don't think it's all one thing across the board that we do. I don't think each spirit, it's kind of, that's why I love the movie Ghost. I think there's some credibility to that. I think that certain spirits that we investigate have certain capabilities, and some may know a little better than others on how to work our equipment and how to communicate with us as well. I think some of them are yelling and screaming at us and smacking the shit out of us and can tell and can reach out and communicate. Others can't do that. You know, I think for example, there's a location here in Lynchburg. We'll go to it. If we're consistently there, we get a good night. When we're not there and it just sits dormant, the next time we go, it's slow as hell.
Yeah.
But when we start going more and more, it picks back up. I think that I'm also what I've experienced, and I could be wrong, but what I've experienced is when we go to a location that's never been investigated, it's dormant, it's slow, it's nothing happening. The more we go, and the more we also train it to use our equipment. Now, some people might say, "No way, ain't no way." But Miller Clater House, for example, this new location that we're about to open to the public, when we first started going in there, wasn't really a lot going on. We started going in there more and more and more. It started learning how to use our equipment and communicate with us. And those of y'all who know what I'm talking about by use my equipment, I'm not talking REM pods. I'm talking recorders. You know, I'm talking tri-fields. I'm talking real equipment, not the toys that we use. I'm talking the real stuff. So I think it just all depends on how you investigate and how often you do it. But let me get some of these comments real quick before you respond to that. Verona said there was a paranormal group investigated this young lady's home in Pennsylvania, and it was posted on YouTube. And 6 months later, they came back, reinvestigated, and posted it on YouTube. And the situation did not resolve, and it only made it worse to the point where this young lady called the Catholic Church. The priest came and never went back after. This young lady reached out to us, and after talking to her literally at length and access to 12 hours via telephone, we determined dot dot dot. Ronnie said, "Good question." Courtney said she thinks the spirits become more active the more you investigate. No one came in before to talk. Now they're excited to communicate. I'll go with that. Rona said, after gathering all the facts and information from her, we determined that 90% of it was mental illness and 10% of it may have been paranormal. But we felt that it was elemental. Like I said, she never contacted us again. Ronnie said the spirits of St. Albans know who we are. I believe that. NSPS said to get real evidence, you got to step your game up, change the way you investigate, and put something in the game. The spirits never seen before. I agree with that. Courtney said if they have no one to speak to or communicate with, technically it would by definition become dormant again until someone else comes in. I'll go with that. Sarah said, I think it depends on the location and how the investigator treats the spirits and location while there. I love it.
That is
Verona said, I agree.
that is a really good response.
I'm gonna pin that. I'm gonna put that one back up there. I love it.
Yeah, so I have the same belief and thought behind it. I think the energy you're putting into the location is how the location is going to respond back to you.
Yeah.
I feel like if you're putting good energy, you're going to start interacting with spirits that are good energy. There's a location here near me. It's called show. I'm drawing a blank on it. It's the Koshkahaken, PA is Selma Mansion. That's what it is. Oof, I don't know why I drew a blank. It's getting late. This location, every time I go there to investigate, it always seems like I get an interaction while I'm talking to other people that are there with me investigating. It's cool because you can actually hear audible voices coming from the second floor or third floor, all while you're like interacting with the people you're with and like joking around and talking. It doesn't happen up until you start joking and putting good energy out, which is interesting. But I do agree with Sarah with that response. I think it has a lot to do with the investigators and the energy they're putting out into the location itself. Especially when you start investigating. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to cut you off, but when you start investigating a location with respect to, a lot of times if you come to a location, you act like it's just your place and you want things and talk to you. I've seen investigators try to scream at, the spirits that are at the location. They've down talked to the spirits that are location in order to get some sort of response. And I don't think you're always going to get the response that you want. If anything, you'll piss off the spirits, and I feel like your investigation would get completely turned around if you start doing that. And I've seen it. I've seen it happen.
Yeah. Or they just stop responding.
Yeah, or you just simply piss them off and they start trying to get you out of there. Penhurst Asylum was one of them where I saw that happen. Some group that was there were antagonizing the spirits, and long story short, they ended up having to shut everything down. I literally watched one of these big old locks. It was one of those breakable locks get launched at this guy and hit him right in the back in one of the tunnels. There was nobody throwing it, which was, there was clearly a spirit or something throwing it, but there was nobody where the direction the lock came from. Smacked him right in the back, right in his back. And it was interesting. But they were antagonizing the things that were there. They were pissing it off, and that's the kind of response you're going to get.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. You should go into every location with respect. I mean, you're going in their house. Rona said the Octagon House never disappointed. We were there quite often, and the spirits really interacted with them. They also said when they take new investigators with us, the nights starts out real slow until the spirits warm up to them. They think the spirits need to feel a person out. But I agree with all that. I agree with all that. But we've been on here a while. Put in the comments if y'all want us to do another pop-up soon. When Chris and I normally do this, we literally just get on here and chit chat and just interact with you guys. Sarah, thanks for jumping in here. You're one of the new ones I've seen. Verona, I've seen you. We know who you are, but Sarah, you're the new one that I have not got to meet yet in here. But I appreciate all the people who interacted in here tonight.
She's pretty cool. She's got a lot of stuff on YouTube too. You guys want to check her out?
I think I've seen her stuff on Signal.
Yeah,
I want to say that name looks very familiar.
Hushed Up History, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, yeah, I think I've seen her stuff before.
Yeah,
but this show is a lot different than our normal Tuesday show. This is where we just kind of relax and just talk, and we invite y'all to come talk with us.
It's our minds and thoughts all into this live podcast,
and hopefully we'll do it more often. Chris is very busy, but these are the conversations that we have, and figure that we'd put them out there in public. And this is when we don't care who we piss off. We just say it like it is.
Yep.
Whether people agree or not. And Sarah, we appreciate you joining. Like I said, we'd love to have you as a guest on our Tuesday show. If you like, shoot us a message, and hopefully we'll chat. Or if you'd like to just do the show where we get on here and just speak our thoughts, get up with Chris, and all three of us sit on here and chat and just have an open floor conversation about stuff. But either way, y'all, thank y'all for tuning in. Thanks for all the conversation. And Chris, thank you.
I think our next, not to cut you off, but I think our next podcast, we should talk about how the paranormal community is and how the paranormal community tends to be when it comes to going live, like we just kind of touched on today. And
we live, baby.
And all the drama that comes with it. That's one thing that I don't see many people talking about, and something I think should be covered. I mean, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up on the comment. We'll cover that next time we get on. But
drama with the live paranormal community. We live, baby.
Yeah. Thank you guys once again for having me on, Sean. It was a pleasure. It's always fun to get on and actually talk, just randomly talk. And for those of you guys that haven't followed Hill City After Dark, make sure you guys give them a thumbs up and a follow, and check them all out on all social media. And their new endeavor and this whole new location they're getting, and everything that they're doing, they're moving up, and it's always good to support your other paranormal people, especially when they're doing good, and you like to see people succeed, keep them motivated and moving. And for that, I'm proud of you guys, and you guys are doing a great job, and it's awesome. Thank you for having me on again.
Go follow Supernatural Untold Stories as well. Chris is an amazing video editor and investigator. He's got some great stuff out there. I'd rather watch him than the TV guys any day. And Chris, I'll catch up with you soon. Y'all have a good night. Make sure y'all catch us every Tuesday night right here at 8 o'clock Eastern PM, Eastern
Standard Time.
And we will see you guys on the other side.
See you guys. Thank you all for joining.